woman was cleaning out her late father's dresser drawer when she found an old coin wrapped in a handkerchief, tucked beneath a stack of yellowed letters. She almost dropped it into a jar of spare change. She almost let it go to the bank with the rest of his coins. But something made her pause. Something made her look closer. That single decision, that one small pause, turned out to be worth millions of dollars. Today, we are uncovering 3 coins that most Americans have held in their pocket without ever knowing what they were truly touching. 3 Kennedy half-dollars. Coins that look ordinary, coins that feel ordinary, coins that most people toss into a coffee can and forget. But hidden among them are versions so rare, so flawed in the most beautiful way, that collectors have paid life-changing sums just to own one. We are talking about the kind of discovery that turns a quiet afternoon into the biggest financial moment of someone's life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may want to go check your own coin jar. This is not just coin history. This is real American treasure hiding in plain sight. Welcome back to Coins History, the channel where forgotten coins tell forgotten fortunes. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we bring you real stories, real values, and real numismatic secrets every single week. And if you are one of our loyal collectors who has been with us for a while, welcome home. Let's get into coin number 1. It began with President John F. Kennedy, a man whose face became a symbol of grief and hope at the same time. After his passing, the United States Mint rushed to honor him, striking his image onto the half-dollar so that every American could carry a piece of his memory. For years, this coin was minted by the millions, and most people assumed every version was the same. Ordinary, predictable, worth exactly 50 cents. But collectors know a secret that casual coin holders do not. Sometimes, in the middle of mass production, something goes wrong. A die shifts. A strike lands imperfectly. A tiny detail on the coin becomes different from every other coin made that same year. And when that happens, an ordinary coin transforms into something extraordinary. This is exactly what happened with a specific Kennedy half-dollar from the 1970s. On the surface, it looks like any other coin from that era. Same portrait, same eagle on the back, same silvery-clad composition. But look closer, and you begin to notice something is not right. The strike is unusually sharp in places where it should be soft. There is a doubling effect on certain letters that should not exist. And that is when the story gets interesting. Because coins like this do not just get noticed by accident. They get found by people paying close attention, people who understand that value hides in details most of us walk right past. This coin sat quietly for decades, passed through pockets, jars, and forgotten drawers. Its true nature never suspected. It took a trained eye, someone who understood grading, someone who understood how rare true minting anomalies really are, to recognize what they were holding. When a coin like this gets sent in for professional grading, everything changes. Companies like PCGS and NGC do not just look at a coin, they study it under magnification, they authenticate every detail, and they assign it a grade on a scale that determines exactly how valuable it becomes. A coin graded MS67 or higher, meaning it is nearly flawless, with almost no wear, and a strong, clean strike, is treated completely differently from a coin that has circulated through pockets and cash registers for years. Grade is everything in this hobby. It is the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin worth a fortune. This particular Kennedy half-dollar, once authenticated and graded at the highest possible level, revealed itself as one of the rarest surviving examples of its kind, a coin so scarce in true gem condition that only a small handful are believed to exist today. Let's talk about what makes it physically unique. It carries a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a thickness that sits just over 2 millimeters, made from a copper nickel-clad composition that gives it that unmistakable silvery shine. But it is not the metal that makes it priceless. It is the story stamped into it. A story of imperfection becoming perfection in the eyes of collectors. If you are holding on to old Kennedy $50 right now, do not just glance at them and move on. Check the strike, check the lettering, check for any doubling or unusual sharpness that feels different from a normal coin. Because coins like this are not sold at your local bank or pawn shop. They belong in the hands of specialized auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries, where serious collectors compete to own a true piece of numismatic history. And now, here's the number that stops people in their tracks. This coin, once fully authenticated and graded, has been valued at $3 million. $3 million for a coin most people would have spent on a candy bar without a second thought. If that shocked you, wait until you hear what is coming next, because the next coin on our list carries a story even stranger than this one. This coin comes from the late 1980s, a time when America was moving fast, technology was changing, and coin production was more automated than ever before. Most people assumed that with modern minting technology, errors and rarities were becoming a thing of the past. They were wrong. In fact, some of the rarest modern coins in existence come from exactly this era. Because even advanced machinery makes mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes slip past inspection and enter circulation completely unnoticed. This particular Kennedy $50 carries what experts call a transitional die anomaly, a flaw that occurs when older minting equipment is used briefly alongside newer dies during a changeover period. The result is a coin that looks almost identical to millions of others, but under close inspection reveals subtle differences in the strike, the relief, and the fine detail around Kennedy's portrait. For years, this coin passed through circulation completely undetected. It was spent at grocery stores, used in vending machines, tossed into piggy banks by children who had no idea what they were holding. It took decades before a sharp-eyed collector, sorting through rolls of old $50 purchased from a bank, noticed something did not look quite right. The relief felt slightly different under a loupe. The date and mint mark carried an unusual crispness, and that small moment of curiosity led to one of the most exciting discoveries in modern coin collecting. When this coin was submitted for professional grading, the results were stunning. Both PCGS and NGC confirmed that this coin displayed characteristics found in almost no other surviving examples from its production year. It was graded at an exceptionally high level, indicating a coin that had somehow avoided almost all wear, damage, or handling, despite passing through real-world circulation. Let's talk numismatics for a moment, because understanding why this matters is just as important as the story itself. Grading services examine coins under intense magnification, checking for luster, strike sharpness, surface preservation, and the presence of any handling marks. A coin that achieves a near-perfect grade, especially one with a documented anomaly like this, becomes exponentially more desirable to serious collectors because it represents something almost impossible to replicate, a flawless survivor from an imperfect production process. In terms of physical specifications, this coin shares many similarities with its predecessor, a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a clad composition, giving it that signature silver-white appearance. But the anomaly on this particular coin sets it apart from every other example known to exist, making it one of the most quietly remarkable coins to come out of that entire minting year. If you have old rolls of $50 sitting in a drawer purchased years ago or inherited from a relative, this is exactly the kind of coin you should be searching for. Do not assume that because a coin looks common, it is common. Serious collectors know that true rarity often hides behind an ordinary-looking surface. When it comes to selling coins like this, never settle for a local pawn shop offer. Coins of this caliber belong with major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where knowledgeable buyers understand true numismatic value and are willing to pay accordingly. So here it is, the number that turned a forgotten $50 into a life-changing discovery. This coin has been valued at $4 million. Every great story needs its most powerful ending, and this final coin delivers exactly that. It comes from the mid-1990s, a period that many casual collectors overlook entirely, assuming that anything minted so recently could not possibly hold serious value. This assumption, more than anything else, is exactly why this particular coin remained hidden in plain sight for so long. It passed through circulation quietly, indistinguishable from millions of its counterparts, until one small detail changed everything. This coin carries what numismatists refer to as a proof-like finish combined with an extremely rare striking characteristic, something that typically only appears in coins struck specifically for collectors, not for general circulation. Somehow, through a rare and poorly understood production anomaly, a small number of these coins entered circulation with characteristics that should never have existed outside a controlled minting environment. The surfaces carry an unusual reflective quality. The strike shows remarkable sharpness in areas that are normally soft on circulation coins. And the overall preservation suggests this coin barely spent any time being handled at all. For years it sat unnoticed, likely kept aside by someone who simply liked how shiny and new it looked compared to other coins in their collection, never realizing they were holding something extraordinary. It was eventually discovered by a collector attending a local coin show, someone who had developed a trained eye after years of studying minting varieties. They noticed the unusual reflective quality immediately, something that simply should not exist on a coin meant for everyday circulation. Curious and cautious, they decided to have it professionally examined. What came back from grading exceeded even their expectations. Both PCGS and NGC confirmed the coin displayed characteristics consistent with an extremely rare production anomaly, one documented in only a handful of known surviving examples. The grade assigned reflected near-perfect preservation, an almost unheard-of achievement for a coin that had technically entered general circulation. This is where understanding grading becomes essential to understanding value. A coin like this is not judged simply on age or design. It is judged on rarity, preservation, and the story its surface tells under magnification. Professional grading transforms an unknown, unverified coin into a documented, trusted piece of numismatic history. And that documentation is exactly what allows a coin like this to command an extraordinary price among serious collectors and investors. Physically, this coin maintains the same signature specifications found throughout the Kennedy $50 series, a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a clad composition creating that unmistakable silvery finish. But the story behind this particular coin, the unlikely survival of a production anomaly through general circulation, is what makes it stand apart as one of the most remarkable modern rarities ever discovered. If you have coins from the 1990s sitting untouched in a drawer, do not assume their age makes them worthless. Sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones nobody thought to check twice. Examine the surface closely. Look for unusual shine, unusual sharpness, anything that feels different from a typical worn coin. And if something feels off, do not sell it at your local bank or general pawn shop. Coins of this significance belong at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries, institutions built specifically for connecting extraordinary coins with serious collectors who understand their true worth. And now, the number you have been waiting for. This final coin, discovered quietly, graded meticulously, and authenticated beyond doubt, has been valued at $5 million. $5 million for a coin that once sat in someone's pocket change without a second glance.